This December, thousands of people from around the world will descend upon Copenhagen, but not just to enjoy its famous Christmas atmosphere. It is on this conference centre, just a few minutes by metro from the city, that all attention will be focused. Here, the 15th in a series of United Nations climate change conferences will take place. Called COP15 for short, it will be the most important global climate change meeting ever. The stakes are high.
We're expecting participation to reach between 12 to 15,000 accredited people here at the Bella Center. Now, half of those are actually going to be observers from NGOs participating here, observing what's going on. The other half is divided between the actual representatives of member states to the parties to the convention, and the other half is journalists.
COP15 should deliver the successor to the Kyoto Protocol, which was the first international effort to cut greenhouse gas emissions. The current Kyoto targets have to be reached by 2012. It is up to COP15 to come up with more ambitious and longer-term emission reductions.
Wir müssen alle gemeinsam auf dieser Erde diesen Planet schützen. Und dafür brauchen wir natürlich Regeln, ein sogenanntes Abkommen. Da hatten wir das Kyoto-Abkommen. Und genau diese neuen Regeln für die Zukunft, also für die Zukunft der jungen Menschen, die brauchen wir und die werden wir in Copenaghen entwickeln.
È stato sul clima che si è avuta la prima rottura del multilateralismo. Io spero che sia sul clima dove si ricostruisce il primo mattone di un nuovo sistema di governance globale.
Climate change, in the words of UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, is the greatest collective challenge we all face. The European Union believes that every nation needs to limit their greenhouse gas emissions, and that COP15 should set binding targets. Around the table in Copenhagen, developed and developing countries will work towards an agreement. However, many developing countries believe they have the right to increase their emissions without being regulated by international binding targets. This is a very delicate issue.
The most important role of the EU is to show that it is possible to reduce emissions substantially. That is our utmost role and the most important thing we can do. And we need to do this in a way that ensures at the same time social and economic development, because this problem cannot be solved by making people more poor.
A 30% reduction of greenhouse gases by 2020 would be the EU's commitment as part of a comprehensive international agreement if other developed countries undertake similar commitments. The changes to our climate will affect everyone around the world in their everyday lives. The solution does not lie in the hands of a few policy makers alone. Ordinary citizens have an important role as well. We can all influence and put pressure on the decision makers, but it is also about our individual choices, about changing the way we live, what we consume, how we move, and, in general, how sustainable our lifestyle is.
Climate change is the type of issue that brings the future into the picture. And this is why it is so important for all of us to engage, because it is really about the lives of children and grandchildren. What do we want them to experience? What kind of world do we want them to find? And this is very much decided now.
Because of the financial crisis, some people are saying that the ambitions for the climate agreement in Copenhagen should be scaled down. However, the opposite is true. The costs of inaction on climate change are immense, both financially and morally. All of us will feel the effects, but poorer people will suffer first.
This is a global negotiation, one in which the security of all of us will be affected if we do not get the right answers. And so in working together with people from the environment field, with people from all areas of construction, of industry, of in fact government itself, we have to formulate a way in which we not only treat the environment and the challenges of climate change regarding the environment, but also where we take very seriously the equity of the world population.
Tackling climate change now will not only avoid huge costs in the future, it will also create new opportunities for innovation and employment. All eyes are now turned to COP15.